And there's a nice shot of Miller Outdoor Theater. Gosh, the weather is so nice outside today. We should all get out, especially after Harvey. We could all use some fresh air. So now that the storm has passed, do you have concerns about looting, scams, or some of these other crimes we've been hearing have been happening around our city?
I know I do. So here to tell us what to do and what not to do after Harvey is Executive Director of Crime Stoppers of Houston, Rania Menkarius. Hey, Rania.
Hey.
Hi, Rania.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so we're Facebook friends.
Yes.
And Rania posted something on Facebook about some kid, you know, bragging about going and looting. He was, what did he say? Like, we're going to go loot some white people's
Yeah,
homes.
exactly.
So some of these are scams and just people being stupid.
Right.
But give us a lay of the land. What's going on?
Well, the reality is after any national disaster, major disaster, people take advantage. And they know that you're not in your home. They know you don't have electricity. There's no alarm system. There's no one monitoring. They think law enforcement is preoccupied. And so they take advantage. They go in, they steal whatever they can. And then sometimes they post about it. They actually boast about it, which is, I mean, criminals are not the smartest people in the world, one, but it's so heartless. So what we do is, and we knew this was going to happen before the hurricane hit, is we went out there and we said, look, be smart about what you're posting. A lot of us needed to evacuate our homes. We needed to evacuate our home, but we were really careful not to take pictures before we left, not to talk about the things that were hard to leave behind, not to let people know, as hard as it is, because you want to share it, that you had to leave.
Well, but you took pictures, you just didn't post the pictures.
Yeah, so there's the other thing is, you know, a lot of us lost a lot of things, and insurance, if you have it, is going to ask you, what did you lose? So beforehand, inventory your home, inventory those things that matter to you.
But don't post it on Facebook.
But don't post it on Facebook.
To yourself.
Yes, I mean, it's common sense, but it's really not when you're dealing with such an emotional storm. This is how you're communicating with everybody else, so you want to tell people what you're going through.
And also, you know, due to the storm, the hurricane, there are a lot of people that are getting abused in the sense of a child or animals.
Oh my gosh.
What can you tell us about that? So
in any stressful situation, domestic violence flares up, animal cruelty flares up, child abuse flares up, and when you think about it, the mental cycle of abuse, it makes sense. But what we want to do is encourage people, one, in a domestic violence situation, only if you have a safe plan, a truly thought out safe plan, make the necessary steps to escape, report child abuse, report animal cruelty. You can always call Crime Stoppers to report this information. We will do whatever we can with the Humane Society, with AVDA, with HAWK, to get people the safety that they inherently must have.
What are some of the fake posts that you've written about?
Yeah, so there are people that do it for political purposes. So they were taking fake pictures or pictures from Hurricane Katrina, things that didn't even have anything to do with Houston, and they're posting them with hashtag Black Lives Matter or other things to create a rise out of people.
Stir the pot.
To stir the pot and make a political statement. What was really interesting to know is that DPS was going to investigate every single post. They were going to take it seriously, and whether the post was real or fake, people were going to be held accountable. It is not a time to joke, make political statements, or to take advantage of others. Certainly there were scams, 101 different scams that were going on over the past week, and that will continue to go on, that we want people to be aware of too.
And speaking of making things up, there are people out there right now who are pretending to be an insurance company or a charity.
Exactly. So we're telling people, be careful. If you need to have home repairs, don't just accept the person that knocks on the door. Make sure you're going to somebody you know, they have a reputation, you develop a contract, you pay in a payment plan. If somebody knocks on your door and says, hey, we're the insurance company, we want to sell you insurance now. No, they don't. No insurance company wants to sell you insurance right now. No way. You know, people that operate like FEMA, they say, hey, we're with the government, we want to help you. They're trying to get your information. You could potentially be the victim of identity theft. There's so much that goes on, and it's so heartbreaking, but a lot of it can be prevented if people just know, which is why we've been so aggressive about getting the word out.
Yeah, it seems like common sense is a huge part of it. And also, I think the social media, again, whether it's evacuating your home because of the storm or even going on vacation. I see posts all the time where people are like, packed up and leaving. Great. I'll go rob your house.
All my jewelry's in the drawer, and I will be gone.
And that's so sad, though. It's so sad. Thank you.
Stopping by.
So for more information information on any of the post-storm safety tips we've discussed or to contact Crime Stoppers, just visit crime-stoppers.org. Thanks, Rania.
Thank you.
And the cleanup has started for a lot of Houston. For others, it is just the beginning. Up next, we're going to hear from a cleaning product specialist who will tell us how to properly clean up after this mess.